Respected Shri Subhash Kumar Kunthia ji, Chairman IIDA, Srimati TL Alamelu, Member Non-Life, Shri Randeep Singh Jakpal, Chief General Manager Intermediaries, Srimati Meena Kumari, Chief General Manager Inspections, officials from IIDI, CEO of insurance companies, TPAs, surveyors, board members, fellow broker members, and all distinguished guests. A very good morning to one and all. The theme of our annual meeting is advancing penetration and enhancing policyholder interest by innovating and constantly evolving so that all the stakeholders thrive. As the only intermediaries who are tasked by the regulation to ensure that we render professional services to the policyholders in both placement of risk as well as follow-up claims, we believe that we are a very important element in the insurance ecosystem to assist the authority in their task of protection of policyholders' interests and contributing to the development of the market, not only in the introduction of appropriate products, but also increasing market penetration. In fact, I believe we can evolve to be the ear and eyes of authority in conveying the needs of policyholders. IBAI has been taking up policyholders' issue which we believe need the attention of the authority. I am grateful that IIDA officials welcome our feedback because we, for all practical purposes, have the pulse of the policyholder. We all exist because policyholders and we owe it to them. To ensure that the claim process is as painless as possible, we would like to work with the authority to ensure that every policy is designed to ensure the gap between the actual insured loss and the claim payment is narrowed down to the bare minimum. I am sure authority would welcome an environment where insured get the full amount, less only the deductible under the policy. As professional body representing policyholders, we believe we can help the authority achieve this objective. I sincerely believe that this is the first step not only in increasing penetration but also in serving the policyholders' larger interest. As President, IBI, I have been encouraging our members to articulate the issues seriously affecting the policyholders. IBI has institutionalized a system of responding to draft exposures to ensure that the authority gets to hear the voice of the policyholders through us. I have no hesitation in stating that if the authority accepts our suggestion given on the international travel health policy, it would revolutionize the way travel health insurance business is underwritten in India. We have made a strong case to revert the product as an emergency health product and not a standard health policy, whereby pre-existing diseases are currently excluded. We have made a strong case for a review of how the policy is structured because we believe the authority would not want any Indian national traveling abroad on leisure or business to be stranded without an appropriate cover. To take care of the medical contingencies, we have also called for a review of some of the exclusions in these policies. I am sure our suggestions will be met with a lot of resistance. Globally, the tension between the insurers and brokers are legendary. The brokers stand firmly with the policyholders. I shall add a caveat to that, ethically and in the letter of spirit of the regulations. Many of our members have been pressing IBI to take up with the authority a review of policy wording which formed part of the erstwhile tariff regime. The policy wordings are frozen in time and are in urgent need of review. Most importantly, we need to ask whether time has come to allow tailor-made policies. IBAI would like the authority to have a dual approach to the subject of approval of policy wordings. We believe that retail customers need protection of the authority since they do not have the wherewithal to discern differences in product offerings. IBAI recommends that the authority brings in standard policy wordings, which for convenience sake can be called the base policy for retail products. Insurers can add features in the base policy to bring in product differentiation. Insurers need to be debarred from bringing in warranties and conditions in the base cover which truncate the coverage offered in the base policy. These would be truly pre-underwritten products which offer customers the comfort that what is being purchased had undergone rigorous regulatory scrutiny. Here again, I believe IBA can contribute very meaningfully since we know the pain points of the policyholder and can give valuable suggestions in product improvement. Products sold to corporates need to be customized. We believe that the relationship of the policyholder and insurer is more of equals, and corporate also has the ability in ensuring that they have subject experts assisting them in negotiation with insurers. Here, I would urge the authority to allow free wordings. I would term this as next wave of liberalization. Another key to increasing insurance penetration is obviously quick and easy settlement of claims. We would urge the authority to ensure critical features of policyholders protection regulation form part of the policy contract, since we do not know any insurer paying interest for delayed settlement of claims in line with the regulation, nor have we known any surveyor to comment in his loss assessment report on the contents of the proposal form. The proposal form, being part of the contract, is a critical protection and becomes particularly imperative in cases where the policyholder's account is debited automatically. Cases coming up in the consumer forum have thrown up instances of wholly inappropriate policies being sold with no relief available to policyholder. Courts go strictly by the policy and do not take cognizance of the fact that the policyholder protection regulation has been complied with. The IIDA annual report has a wealth of statistics, including the number of claims repudiated not only in numbers but also in absolute amount in rupees. The latter for most lines is startlingly high and could point out to mis-selling. We would urge the authority to also include channel-wise repudiation. I urge this be done so that we also are alerted by the authority of corrective measures that our members need to take. Quick and easy settlement also includes speedy resolution of disputes. On behalf of IBI, I must thank the authority for having issued a circular to the insurers that an insured can issue a conditional discharge voucher whereby the insurer is obliged to release the undisputed amount of claim. This is a landmark decision where the authority has stepped in and ruled in favor of policyholders, despite Supreme Court rulings to the contrary. The insurer must, of course, provide a claim reserve for the disputed amount only. The decision also recognizes the fact that a policyholder cannot expect judicial relief within a reasonable period. The delays run into decades. It is very important that the insurance industry works out an alternate dispute resolution mechanism. We look forward to far-reaching decisions from the authority in this regard. This will certainly spur growth of the industry and exponentially increase insurance penetration, while ensuring the policyholders' interests are enhanced. We know for a fact that insurers have been complaining to the authority that brokers are responsible for pushing down the prices. We do not have the pen in our hand. The rates are quoted by insurers, and at each renewal, we are an important tool for price discovery for policyholders. I think this role must be appreciated. We fulfill a critical need of policyholders, whether retail or commercial. Notwithstanding the foregoing, as brokers, we strive to ensure that our client or prospect chooses the appropriate cover and pays the appropriate premium. Here often we run into what I call "this will not happen to me" syndrome. To counter this problem, I would urge the authority to devise a mechanism whereby knowledge and information is disseminated of various types of claim paid and repudiated so that we can sell effectively and ensure the correct product is sold. To achieve this end, I would suggest IIB could be converted into a repository of information and knowledge to insurance practitioners, researchers, scholars, and most importantly, policymakers. Survey reports and insurers' synopsis of claims should be made available so that serious students have access to information. I'm sure many of our members would come up with meaningful papers that could assist the authority in formulating policy decisions. This access to information and data is the key to judicial pronouncements so that the policies are constantly evolving to ensure that an insurable contingency does not remain uncovered because of judicial pronouncement. The judiciary does not preclude improvements in products to overcome an infirmity in the contract pointed out by them.
This is the second part.
The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. Parivartan, which means change, has been the only constant in last 18 years of my career since I joined the broking industry. There has been no dull moments in my life since then, and every day has been challenging in terms of getting new customers, understanding diverse industries, encountering new kinds of claims and challenges associated with settlement. We also saw the transition from tariff to de-tariff and back to IIB rates, along with the structural changes, new compliance norms, which has made life tough for brokers. I am not from the industry and did not have any background, but I am proud to be part of it and will always cherish it. It has taught a lot in life, and let me be honest that no other job can be as satisfying or more than getting a health or life claim settled for a customer who is at a receiving end. Year 2020 has been a remarkable year, which has crossed all the benchmarks of change, and I'm proud that all the brokers members have adopted and I'm proud that all broker and I am proud that all the broker members have adopted and evolved to the changing situation and passed with flying colors. We all should reward ourselves, including our employees who have adopted to the new culture and thrived to achieve newer heights. They have provided relentless services across the period of lockdown against all odds. When the insurers' offices were closed, many still continue to be, their call centers running at lower efficiency. We, the brokers, went all out and supported the clients to make necessary arrangements to make their premium payments, renew their policies on time, and even settle the claims. I cannot imagine how the sector would have performed without the contribution of intermediaries. It is more heartening to know that most of the brokers have grown their businesses in this period, even while working from home. They have innovated through various methods of working via upgrading their IT infrastructure, software, relocating their offices, etc. We should also thank the regulator for providing timely approvals from new products related to COVID health policies, which not only help the customers to battle the high cost associated with hospitalization, but also provided them with psychological comfort. We are also thankful to IRDA team for cooperating with us in the lockdown and helping our members by accepting their requests at various stages and timely renewal of licenses. The insurers have rapidly adopted technology during this phase and kept the ball rolling without a glitch. This gave strength and peace to the intermediaries and in turn help serve the policyholder better. We would like to thank the insurance companies for ease of doing business during COVID-19. Less of red tapeism, especially on health claims, as they unleashed the technology for claim payment, where the client could submit the claim documents on handheld devices. The pandemic made each one of us to adopt to technology even more, and I strongly feel that this is just the beginning. The use of AI and machine learning is not very far off, and we as insurance brokers should be pioneers in implementing this to serve the policyholders more efficiently and bring in effective risk management solutions. Brokers should think in terms of enabling, not disruption. Since the COVID outbreak, there has been a great surge in the inquiries about health and life insurance, and I'm sure the brokers are seizing to the opportunity created by the pandemic. Insurance is one of the rare industry which is insulated during the COVID-19 pandemic. The industry helped the customers with various risk transfer mechanisms and made them feel confident to continue their businesses. I have taken over as president in September 2020 and have completed 4 months in the office. I would like to highlight some of the key work carried out in last 4 months. We have conducted a couple of open sessions with the broker members and understand the problems faced by them and allowed everyone to voice their opinion. We started inviting senior members of various insurers to have a one-to-one dialogue with all the members. We have sent several representations to IRDAI on various topics like the comments on retail engineering policy, including MBD and EII, travel policy, health super top-up policies which are not aligned with the base policy. We are also encouraging broker members to meet frequently through conducting meetings via local chapters, which will help them to bond with each other and share industry perspectives and enhance their skills via group discussion. We are launching Smart Members Directory, which will capture the details of principal officer and directors of all broking companies and which will become handy for all the members. Income Tax Act introduced Section 194O with effect from 1st October 2020, wherein TDS at the rate of 1% of the premium transacted online platform is supposed to be deposited by the broker. We have sent a representation to IRDA, MOF and CBDT and have requested them to review the same, as this will not only help the exchequer to add any income to their kitty and would definitely add anxiety and hardship to the brokers. Certificate of registration, which has to be renewed every 3 years for all the broker, is a painful process and needs to be made perpetual, as in other financial industries. We have represented the same to IRDAI and MOF. Increase in POSP limit was a long-standing demand, and I am happy that the regulator has accepted our request and increased the limit in certain line of products. As you are aware, the business by brokers can only be solicited by broker qualified person, known as BQP, and brokers were facing a lot of issues in terms of training and exams, which were conducted physically at select centers. We persuaded with NIA and they have accepted our request to conduct the exams on monthly basis and have 22 centers across the country from where these exams can be appeared. We have also highlighted the regulator about the short settlement of COVID claims by various insurers and are awaiting a positive reply from them, which can help to boost the consumer confidence in the segment and as an industry as a whole. We are starting our brokers magazine, which will be a quarterly affair, and I encourage all the members to contribute to the common cause and education. The new magazine will be known as iBroker and will be inaugurated by Chairman Sir today. We are also starting our social media campaign from today on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and this will go a long way in helping all the brokers to reach out to the customers across the country. Action plan for the future. Currently, the brokers contribute close to 42% of the addressable premium in general insurance industry, which I feel should be in the range of 70 to 75% by the year 2025. Although, as far as life insurance is concerned, our contribution is negligible, and I think there is a huge scope for all the brokers to expand their footprint in this segment post the pandemic. Pandemic has also forced us to rethink on the work culture and need for innovation to market the products. All the brokers will have to rethink on the technology used by them and should upgrade to be the best. I would like to request the regulator to come out with a standard motor master which can be used across the insurers. This will help the brokers to integrate the API with insurers, which most of the brokers are struggling to implement. Penetration will not only be possible with the advent and use of technology, we can also enhance the policyholder protection by use of technology in providing them with world-class after-sales service. My main objective would be to have an harmonious relationship with the regulator and closely work with them to enhance the policyholder's interest and ease of doing business. We, as IBAI, would like to participate in all the proposed changes being made in the policy wordings and provide constructive feedback based on collective experience gathered over the last 18 years while helping the clients to settle the claims. We also would like to make sure that claims of customers are settled in time, or else he should be paid interest on delayed payments, as promised in the Policyholders Protection Guidelines. As per the Policyholders Protection Guidelines, customers can appoint the surveyors, but we seldom see these being allowed by the insurers. Let's unleash the Policyholder Protection Guideline and make customer aware of his rights. We can only grow if we make sure to bridge the gap of trust deficit created over the years. I don't think we can create growth and penetrate in the market by selling through affinity or attachment products. We need to educate and create the need for the customer. COVID-19 was an education for all of us, including the customer where he himself felt the need. I strongly feel there needs to be a topic of insurance in early stage of school education, whereby students are taught about the meaning of risk management mitigation and risk transfer. I think we can achieve this and will go a long way in increasing the real penetration in the market. On an average, Indian spends 2 to 2.5 hours on social media, and it is critical tool to disseminate information and educate. The general insurance industry clocked a premium of 1.406 crores up till December 2020, a growth of 2.5% over the previous 9 months numbers. The growth looks minuscule due to the lockdown and pandemic. Life insurance clocked a first year premium of 1.91 lakh crore, a marginal dip of 1.5% to previous 9 months. I have drawn a wish list of what I think is a roadmap to advancing penetration and enhancing policyholders' interest by innovating and by constantly evolving so that all stakeholders thrive. I would like to quickly present the perspective of the industry in last 10 years through a PowerPoint presentation. If we look at the industry stats, the general insurance premium, it has grown from 57,900 crores in FY12 to 1,89,000 crores in FY20, which is almost a growth of 14.2% on a CAGR basis. If we divide the premium it is almost similar or even Steven over a period of time. If you look at the penetration level, it is vastly underpenetrated. The penetration level is hovering around 0.93 to 0.97%, which is quite discouraging. If we compare that with other developed countries, I think we are at the bottom of the pyramid. We need to aspire to be with the countries like Germany or US, which are in the range of 3 to 4%. If we see the number of licensed brokers in India, we started in FY03, where we got license of around 125 brokers to currently 482 brokers. Brokers' contribution has increased across the product, and this is quite astonishing. If we see the motor, it has grown from 10% to 44%, and if we see the liability figures, it has grown from 40% to 52%. Quite a number. Currently, the brokers contribute to 24% of the general insurance market, as compared to global average of 60 to 70%. I think we have a lot of catch up to do. This slide shows the intermediaries at different levels and their premium contribution to the industry. We can see that the individual agents have grown at a CAGR rate of 8.8%, whereas the corporate agents have grown at 14.2%. When we come to brokers, I think we have done phenomenally well by clocking a growth of 15.9% over the period of time. And this is general insurance premium by direct business, including the internet, which is growing at a fast pace of 14.8%. Although we are having a contribution of 24%, but out of the addressable brokers premium market, I think we are doing pretty well, where our market share is around 42%. When we leave the motor TP and crop insurance out of the gamut of the broking premium. This is the most important slide where we talk about the role of new age brokers. We have often seen that people look at us as deal makers, but I'm sorry to say we are not deal makers. We do a lot of things behind the scenes which are going unnoticed. I've listed some of them for your reference. I think an insurance broker does many things behind the scenes, and if you see, we start with gap analysis, quote comparison, RFQ, QCR preparation, final negotiation, and it goes on till the time the claims are settled. I think the current slide talks about the role of new age brokers. Brokers have always been looked at as a price discovery mechanism, but I'm afraid to say that we do a lot more than that. You can see in this slide how the brokers function. They start with a gap analysis, a quote generation, RFQ floated to insurance companies, quotes received, quote comparison, final negotiation, premium placement. It goes on and on till the time of claim settlement. I thank you all for a patient listening, and I hope the year 2021 brings more prosperity and happiness. I will leave you all with a quote. A sunset is nothing more and nothing less than a backside of sunrise. Yes, we are the sunrise industry of India. Thank you so much.